want him wiped from the face of existence. I will be very grateful to you all if this happens.
I would like to invoke the Gambler's Pact.
To do what?
It is in your best interest for us to be as strong as we can be, or is that more of your deceptive bullshit?
I've never had watermelon. I'm a predator. I eat meat.
Then we must survive so that we can hand you a spanking. You've been very bad.
The dice, they love to tell their stories.
They behave. Consciousness returns to you all as the dim blue light of the contestants' circle rouses you from your slumber. You know that this could very well be your final episode. Looking around, there are far more empty spaces than there are contestants left, including yourselves, and after episode 1 of this round, there are now only 12 contestants left. Your adrenaline spikes as you realize the contestants in the last episode chose to face off against a very powerful demon, and that battle was tough. They were completely overpowered, constrained, controlled, got through it by hope and a bit of luck. At this moment, you hear the footfalls of Tharamgul approaching, but something about them seems a bit different than usual. They seem a bit slower, a bit softer. And as his form enters through the boundary between shadow and light, you see that there's a very relaxed look on his face. Not necessarily the eager grin that you've seen before. It gave you the impression that he was excited to watch you all die. This seems a bit different. And as he begins to address you, you notice that Dregs is not there. Hello, everyone. I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty good. Of course, I'm excited to bring all of you, Eyes of Truth, another round of exhilarating combat and lives hanging by a thread. I too am excited for this, but every once in a while you need to stop to smell the roses. And my garden is lush today. So I just want to let this all sink in. Everything is going according to my plan. Despite what I may have said or how I acted in the last time that I stood before you all, my little puppets, they are performing at a peak level. And so now for the next 2 episodes here to round out our semi-finals, shall we call them, I'm feeling very relaxed. No stress on my part. Our episode 1 contestants did exactly what I wanted them to do. And in a way, speaking metaphorically, of course, the door is open for my plans to be executed fully. So this is, don't get me wrong, very meaningful, but it's icing on the cake of life here. And I have a bit of a sweet tooth. So let's get on with it. I hope my bragging and I don't want to seem ungrateful or gluttonous. But this is a key moment in my existence, you see. It's the calm before the storm. The plans have been executed, and now I am awaiting my moment of triumph. All right, let's get on with it, shall we? Dregs is busy babysitting our victors from the first episode, making sure they don't get up to anything untowards down here. A bit of power going to their head, I think. Perhaps they forget whose domain this is and where they are. But they will be reminded soon enough. So, let's meet our contestants for this episode, shall we? Alright, who's left? Not too many people here in the contestants' circle. Little one among the reeds, I see here, as he looks at this scroll that he has pulled out from within his cloak. With the name Little One Among the Reeds being read out loud, we welcome back Adam to the show. Adam, if you could please reintroduce yourself and introduce your character.
Well, my name's Adam. I'm from New York, upstate, not central, not the city, and really excited to be here, play some D&D, and murder these people that have come to know and cherish.
Excellent.
As for Little, there is an ungodly clatter of noise as he topples to the ground, weapons and trinkets and semi-corporeal smithing tools tumbling around him. He rolls to his knees and, rather sheepishly, starts tucking the mess into a supremely inadequate backpack. Word of advice. If you go into stasis with a bag of holding, don't turn off the bag. And when he finishes, he puts a hand to his construct and pushes to his feet, patting it under the eye, where 3 deep gouges like tally marks show in stark contrast to the smooth symmetry of bone and leather. Brushing a few chicken feathers off his cloak, he turns to face his audience. Things are coming to a head. There's much to say and little time to say it. I wish to point out, while the stage is mine, that the artifacts we will be asked to retrieve are in the hands of beings clearly in opposition to our host, that our host evidently cannot take them for himself, that they are doubtless safest where they are. That should we take them, whether to wield or turn over, we are putting them in the reach of a creature of such staggering schadenfreude that it drools whenever someone so much as stubs a toe. No offense, Tharamgul. To put it simply, let's not. And if we do not care to face the demon, nor care what we face instead, let it be our choice. Tharamgul, I petition with all due respect that should the vote go accordingly, you give us the chance to bring down that fucking dragon.
Interesting. Yes, I forgot about your historic events and the tragedy that dragon has caused you. Sorry, Little, I completely forgot about that. I'm feeling generous today. I think, depending on how our intermission actions go and the course that your group here chooses, I'm open to this. I will give you your shot at redemption. Revenge. It's a powerful motivator. Excellent. Well, welcome back to the show, Little One. And welcome back, Adam, and thanks again for everything you do around the Discord and in the background, keeping the show running smoothly, and for heading up the rules committee. Really appreciate that. Alright, whose name is next here on the list? Interesting. Once again, a name scratched through. No more Dante Wolfhowl. Merrick, welcome back to the show. And Crucible welcomes Dennis as Merrick begins to descend down onto the floor.
Yeah. Dennis from New York City, or one of the boroughs. And Marek, as he gets put onto the floor, will slowly pick himself up as he looks around at the Eyes of Truth and the other four champions of today's episode, and still with a little exhaustion in his voice. Oh, it certainly does feel good not having to fight for control anymore. Dante Wolfhowl, your sacrifice, as delayed as it was, will not go in vain. And you, Sir Barristan Bell, you will not be forgotten. I understand many of you know nothing about me. I am not some malevolent spirit. Everything Dante has learned, the things that shaped him, were all taught by me. So take that for what you will. But it was I who protected Dante, holding off against that black dragon. I was ready to fight the Death Knight for him head on, and it was I who whispered into his ear to escape at the best possible time. We all have our reasons for being here, be it for glory, be it for personal gain, or be it for vengeance. Whatever it is, do not let fear govern you. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. Only together we shall prevail in vanquishing whatever horror comes our way. It reminds me of a saying from my youth. Logica viam veritatis illuminat. Logic illuminates the path of truth. So let us show everyone one hell of a time. Pun intended.
Wow. Well said, Merrick. I'm liking what I'm hearing. That is quite an intro. You're saying all the right things. Now, let's just see if you can back it up with action. I truly wish you the best of luck and hope to see you in the finale. Welcome back, Dennis. Looking forward to seeing what unfolds for you here. I'm glad to see.
Glad to be back.
Merrick in full control. Alright, well, I'm still undecided about whether Merrick is on Team Thermghoul or the other guys, but I guess we'll see by the end of today. Next we have Racknell Witchbane, and we welcome Sean back to the show. Sean, good to see you again.
Yeah, hey everybody. Sean Dowling, currently in Almaty, Kazakhstan. It is starting to get late here, probably be around 4 a.m. by the time I get finished, but we'll see how I make it through the night, and I'd love to thank my wife for letting me play another long night of D&D. So yeah, Racknell is going to be kind of drifting down from his pod. Loot in hand. He didn't really get a chance to play it much at the end of our episode, but if that had gone on, there would have been a little bit of kind of drunken loot playing before he lands softly and looks around. Well, you all seem to have helped yourselves to my jug without my permission. But I'm not very stingy. And did I hear the most decorated victor within the Crucible? One who's defeated every single beast and survived and killed old Don Blaze himself, wants to skip fighting the demon. I can't simply believe that. And I would ask our dear gracious host, maybe a little bit of a counter-offer. At least judging by the two of you, Samoza is here as well. And even the four of us alone could kill a demon with ease. I would simply ask, perhaps, when it's done, you can drag out old Umbra Fane and let the last hunter of the Moss-Scale tribe get his revenge. And then he's going to go over, pour himself a drink, and then kind of beckon toward Merrick and Little if they'd like to do the same.
Bold words, Ragnall. I know that everyone has appreciated your presence here, if not only for making this bar a true tavern once again by bringing some alcohol into the fold. These vices go a long way. I'll have to think about that for the next time I need to gather all these souls together. Vice can be a powerful motivator.
Well, if you are who you claim you are indeed the Lord of Vice. I would think such things are amenable to your cause.
You have certainly proved to be quite capable, Ragnall, perhaps a little bit humble in your achievements. I still haven't made my mind up about you yet either. This is going to be a very telling episode in many ways. Good luck to you. He looks down towards the list once again. Ah, yes, one of my favorites here, a very entertaining contestant, if not for the amount of danger he has constantly been put in, but yet he continues to survive and continues to surprise. Samosa. And we welcome Kier back to the show. Kier, if you could please introduce yourself and Samosa.
Hey, hello again. Back again. Kier from Iowa, playing from middle of cornfields in all direction. Bringing you Samosa again. Just love the character. Love getting to play on the show. And here he is. Samosa descends from stasis and falls limp into a pile on the floor. After an uncomfortably long pause, the orbital sockets in Samosa's face ignite with a green light. Samosa stands up, much of what little flesh remained on his body sliding off onto the floor. Contrasted with his overall state of decay, his black stone necklace appears pristine.
Yes. My apologies, everyone. It appears that in my most recent meditation I've misplaced my eyeballs. I'm sure they're rolling around here somewhere, some demon's bag of infernal marbles.
As Samosa stands back up, he emits a foul-smelling stench, likely the result of his rapidly decaying body.
Pleasure to see you again, little. Not so much you, Tharangu. Though it did bring a smile to my face observing Matt and Andrea telling you to take your offer of power and shove it. You sit on a throne of lies, and I increasingly look forward to your incarceration within some abyssal torture chamber.
Samosa pans back around the room, nodding at Merrick and Ragnall, before turning and stopping, seeing the form of Ludwig Lethalis, also in stasis at the moment.
Do my eyes deceive me? Is that...
And his eyes will flash green.
Ludwig Lethalis, right hand of Sombra, it has been some time. Rock crew, as it were.
Excellent. Samosa, you've looked better. I'm hoping, should you survive this episode, we need to do something about, well, the smell, to be honest. You're ripe.
I consider it a bit of a defense mechanism, you see. No one wants to get too close if they might pass out from the stench.
Perhaps we can find some additional ointments or something in the gift shop. We'll see. But welcome back.
Good time.
And glad to reunite you and your round one companion. This is a moment to behold within your heart. I hope that you don't need to kill one another.
Would certainly regret such an action. But, well, this is a competition and we must survive so that we can hand you a spanking. You've been very bad.
Well, Samoza, good luck to you. And through the power of divination, you seem to know exactly who our final contestant is here. And with that, we would welcome back Ludwig Lethalis. And we also welcome back Leo. Leo, welcome back to the Crucible. If you could introduce yourself and Ludwig, please.
Hey everyone, it's a pleasure to be back. I'm Leonardo. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo. 2.5 years ago, my life was completely different, and this game and this community and all the creativeness around it have shaped it, I believe so, for the better. It's a pleasure being here with you all. Again, as many have said before, the elite of the elite, the nerds of the nerds. So yeah, let's get back to nerding. Firmglow stretches a natural shadow across the entirety of the Fate's End Tavern, and as a humanoid is freed from suspension, he will rise from Firmglow's shadow. You all see a Shadowkai elf, about 6 feet in height, and you watch as half of his face has the same dark runes they have seen before, but the other half seems to be brightly glowing with radiance. Both sides are connected by a singular rune on his forehead, a rune of darkened light, and a shadow Japanese-like dragon will clutch his shoulders with its claws, its porcelain mask upon its snout, curiously looking at all of you. You see that he's missing his coat, though, and he seems to want to say something to Firmglow as he just appeared beside him. But when Samoza looks at him, Ludwig will look back, and his eyes will narrow, and his smile will fade, and he will rush right in front of him, getting onto one knee as he puts his hands up, and from the shadows, a jacket will appear. It has changed, though. It now has dark shoulder pads, a ripped tail end, and the Rock Crew logo on its back. It looks more chic, in a way. His coat has been changed. Samoza, I am glad we have met again. You saved my life a month ago and gave me a chance to be so much more. Please accept this gift so that at least a small part of the debt I have to you is paid.
Samoza reaches out, and you said it's a cloak, like a cape?
Yeah, whatever you think. It's a cool ass jacket.
Okay, thank you. Unexpected gifts.
And he will wrap it and throw it like a towel on his back and just kind of slaps against his grossness.
I hope you like it. Sombra hopes so too. And Firmglow, it's been a while. I enjoyed hearing your anger after Anorak's death, and I hope to hear that again soon.
Well, occasionally some outbursts can't be helped. I apologize if they come off as rude, but there's a caged animal within us all, and mine has been caged a long time. And I know it's a bit immature, but when I don't get my way, there'll be hell to pay. Welcome back to you, Ludwig.
Thank you.
One who has continuously surprised me as well. Every time I think that you're just not going to make it, you pull a trick out of your jacket and shock us all. So let us hope there's more of that in store today. All right, everyone, now that you know who you will be competing against and the Eyes of Truth have had an opportunity to meet you all, I will give you 5 minutes to discuss your situation amongst yourselves. After that, I will review the gift shop items available to you all. And then I'm going to need a bit of a vote, a secret vote, on whether you are going to play the game as normal or face off against one of my adversaries, one who has leached many powerful items from me, and I want them back. And I want him wiped from the face of existence. I will be very grateful to you all if this happens. But we can discuss this later. First, it's your time now. So, you all have 5 minutes, and it begins now.
Gentlemen, I also have a proposition. We go after Arkham Grief. If you all think about it, Sumosa, with that creature dead, your path to power would be incredible. Merrick, you are inhabiting a Paladin of Praxis. We should be able to handle him easily. Ragno, very few creatures in existence have a horde as powerful and as extensive as of that creature. Little, well, if Sumosa gets stronger, don't you as well? I promise, if you two make it out of here, you can just go after the dragon afterwards. And as for me, I come from a lich-killing paladin family. I might as well give that a try before being killed by one of your merciful blades, arrows, spears, or, I don't know, accumulated shadow crows. Anyways, it would also be a blow at Firmgoal, since they are big allies. And Firmgoal, if you let us fight your enemy, your ally, he'll get much happier to have a bunch of new souls to play with, right?
Not to interrupt, but I have more against Auckland Grief than anyone here, and it would be a waste of time. He's far too weak for this group. I would rather prefer to take on something with an actual bite and that we can benefit from. Besides that, it would also cut out any chance we had to fight Umbra Fane. Personally, I don't see a reason we couldn't do both. If you plan to fight Tharangul or not fight Tharangul, you would be weaker if you simply fought the Lich.
I agree with him, because we want to be the only ones who do not go up against this so-called demon. The last few contestants went up against it. We sure as hell can surmise the next group of contestants will go, considering there's 2 paladins, a cleric, and other heavy hitters. We need all the power we can get for the 2 that survive.
As a counterpoint, may I point out that we are talking about enemies of the Great Deceiver. The last one was disguised as a giant fucking spider and was in fact likely some sort of angelic being. I sincerely doubt that 2 paladins, as you put it, would be inclined to put such artifacts in any way closer to our gracious host.
Well, the answer...
always keep the artifacts if we succeed.
But that's a risk as well.
In hand as well. That's leave them where they are.
The artifacts may be great within our power, but would it not perhaps be better to keep them in the hands of a more powerful being who might come to our assistance against Tharangul?
Gentlemen, I think the answer here is simple. We start by killing the Lich, then we go after the dragon.
I will side with the reptile, and I believe, Merrick, if you possess the consciousness of Dante in any capacity, if I remember, you also had unfinished business with the Black Dragon.
Oh, I would definitely like to fight the Black Dragon, but to me, the ends justify the means, and I do not want to be the only one going into the finale not with the power-up of the artifacts or the power-up that Tharangul promises.
I am with Merrick on this one. Although I will propose that after 5 rounds, the dragon shows up, if it makes it that long.
Against the demon, a dragon shows up in the middle of our fight. Is that the plan?
The demon will not last 5 rounds.
Interesting.
I like his confidence.
Well, yeah. Lito and Ragnar, give me one last argument. I'm on the fence here of either dragon or demon.
Just pick the demon.
What say you?
Well, I suppose I can say that if it's simply the dragon, I have no need for money. Take that as you will. And I know who voted for the dragon in that case.
I admit I'm on the fence, but regardless what we face, I do agree that we should all focus on it primarily before turning on each other.
Of course. The monster should take the priority, whether it's a dragon, a lich, or a demon. But I still say the demon should be something we should consider. This is no longer a regular competition at this stage in it. We need to think about how much stronger we can get in order to win in the end.
And everyone, that is your 5 minutes. Some juicy ideas floating around. guess we'll see what prevails when democracy speaks. Before we get to the vote, though, I would like to reveal to you the items from the gift shop, and pardon me if it seems a bit lazy, but I must be consistent as well. Follow me. And you see the Tharamgul takes a bit of a turn as the display cases and shelves of the gift shop appear. And once again, it looks more like a jewelry shop than a gift shop, as the display cases all contain polished precious stones. In Tier 1, there is an amethyst of enchantment and an agate of defense. Both of those are +1. In Tier 2, same thing, but they are +2. And in Tier 3, same things, but they are +3. So just to be clear, the amethysts of enchantment will provide a +3 to attack and damage to any weapon, holy symbol, or arcane focus that they are affixed to, while the agates will provide a +3 to your armor class, to whatever, as long as whatever item that they're attached to is being worn. And keep in mind, too, that, and I'm not trying to change your decision and your vote about what you're going to do today, but this will be your last opportunity to go to the gift shop. I feel that it will have to close down in round 5. I can't take the risk of someone spending thousands and thousands of gold on things that, in the off chance they don't follow the rules of the game. It's just, I can't allow myself to be put in such a dangerous predicament. I hope you understand. And with that, the shelves and display cases fade back into the shadows. All right, everyone, if you could please telepathically message to me what it is you would like to do. And to be clear, your choice is demon or game. And if you choose game, I am open to you selecting your monster of choice. Question, yes.
And you see like the small shadow dragon also has a hand raised. Could it be 2 monsters of choice?
You wish to take on 2 monsters simultaneously. Is that what I'm hearing? Sure. Yeah, that seems very entertaining. And out of game, if you could all please send me your vote.
Can I say one last thing before we all vote, or are people?
I mean, go ahead if you want.
That lich has the soul of one that could be a powerful ally to all of us against Tharamgul. That's all I'll say.
Sumosa would also like to throw out a little dig at Tharamgul as well, if allowable.
Sure.
He will say,
Tharamgul, I realize that you are closing up shop, but surely you're powerful enough to take us all even with items next round, yes?
Sumosa, can you imagine how the other abyssal gods are going to laugh at him if he doesn't let us get items? Persuasion checks, come on!
It's open now. I mean, all you have to do is plan ahead. Just asking you to purchase them now rather than later, that's all.
Unfortunately, not all of us have been blessed with material wealth.
Bracknell just snaps his fingers and his studded leather becomes like Kraken leather all over his body. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you recognize this? Oh, yes, from the Kraken. Yes. I think you saw it before, Sposa. Yes.
Yes. I'm glad to see that monster eat sleeping with the peers, even more so than normal.
Okay. Let's take a look here.
Votes, right?
Yep. Make sure you send me your
All
vote.
right.
Let me just say, this entire time that Samosa has been talking, Little has been at the far end of the room with 2 improvised notes, like pins over his nostrils.
Okay, if you did pick the game, make sure you send me the monster or monsters that you want to fight. I'm missing 1 vote here, peeps. If you have been abstaining from this vote, you need to not do that.
Vote for monster or demon or another vote?
Yeah, monster or demon. What I did for a game was that I wrote game and then a little thing, and then I put what monster I wanted to fight.
I mean, can you just tell us who hasn't voted? I mean, it doesn't tell us what their vote is. You can just tell us who hasn't voted.
I get the vibe that it was Dennis based on everybody's response.
I mean, I messaged Dave what I wanted.
You messaged
monster
me?
or demon. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It was you were okay. You were first. All right, that's why.
Oh.
So the last shall be first.
I guess it was me.
All right. Now that I've cleared out the voices in my head, it was very close. Very close. But the decision has been made. You will be playing the game. And it will be against the dragon. With that in mind, there may still be use to seeing our resident archivist for additional information. I am just saying. But I leave that to you. So now we will decide who will go first in the intermission actions. So we're going to do our initiative here, folks. Keep in mind you can do a perception skill check, an intelligence ability check, or your standard dex-based initiative roll. We'll do this in order, starting in the top left. If I could get Little to give me your initiative roll, please.
Okay, and I would like to use my pertinent action thing to cast guidance as well, to give myself an additional D4.
Okay. So 20, sticking with that.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Oh, that's the worst one I've ever rolled. And I rolled 20s, and I rolled 19s, and I was never prepped for them.
Any adjustments?
No.
Merrick.
That's where I get to 20 on. Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
No adjustments.
No adjustments? Okay. Ragnall.
I'll be using a superiority die to add Imbusher to this, so I get to add a 1d10 to this roll.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Leo, we're just hanging out together today.
Hell yeah, man.
Just getting my bad rolls out of the way. It's still 14 at least.
14's pretty good. I mean, you didn't have much competition down here, but
And Samosa.
I'll be also expending 1 of my knowledge from a past life to add 1d6 onto this roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
Little brain leaks out of his nose. And he's
Oh, shoot!
Ooh.
oh!
Blow my
2
way.
natural 1s, 2 natural 20s. Yeah.
Feast and famine today, man.
Yeah.
I already
D&D.
declared that I was using that, so I believe I still have to use that because it's not after. Oh, it is after seeing the roll, isn't it?
It is. Use it. Use it.
You know what? Yeah, we'll just go ahead and use it. For a 27.
All right. In that case, I'll put everybody but Samosa into the waiting room. Please do make yourselves at home. Make sure you're in earshot in case you get parlay. And I'll see you when I see you. Greetings, Samoza. You are up first for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
Daylon and now Matt. Well, what's going on? I wish to speak to your countryman. I wish to parley with the paladin. I believe he goes by Merrick nowadays.
Very well. I will fetch him. One moment, please. Greetings, Merrick. You've been summoned to a parley circle by Samoza. Do you accept or refuse the invitation?
I will accept.
Very well. In that case, Samoza, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
The Trigalian! Merrick, I trust. A pleasure to meet you. Please entertain me for a moment as I have a lot to say and not much time to say it. Of the 5 of us entering into this room, Bracknell is by far the most dangerous. I fully intend on killing the monster first and foremost, but after it's gone, I would like to gratefully accept your assistance in getting rid of his horrifying ranged martial prowess. He has the power to kill any one of us in a short span of 6 seconds. He has already read our defenses, I'm sure, during the opening introductions. Some ability of his relating to mastery of battle. Though I might be the least argued target of the 4 of us, let me assure you that I can survive 1 round of him targeting me with ranged aggression. Can you say the same about yourself? Please.
I see your logic in the argument. I would like to think I am tough enough to survive a hit or 2 from Bracknell, and I look forward to seeing how quick we take down this flying lizard. But in terms of who to go against afterwards, I cannot make any promises of helping to fight against Bracknell, and I only say that not because of any promises with him, but I don't know how the battle will go. There's so many variables to consider. Perhaps he is my best chance to move on forward. Perhaps it is Little, perhaps it is Ludwig. What I will say this, I will definitely not have any sort of animosity while the monster is alive, unless I am attacked first. Afterwards, we shall see. I am not against attacking Bracknell, but I cannot make that promise to you.
I can appreciate that logic and reason into your battle strategy. I do intend to kill the monster first, please let that be clear. But if things were to turn against Bracknell, could we count on you to take him down? To at least assist?
Who's we? I'm assuming Little is amongst this decision-making?
Little, it was also his reading of the situation that was the best strategy.
Like I said, I will consider it, but I make no promises.
Thank you. One final thing. You seem to be enjoying your new body. It feels great, I'm sure, intoxicating even. You seem to be enjoying it, let me assure you.
And that is 3 minutes. The time has expired. I apologize. Alright, we will see you very soon, Merrick.
I am enjoying it.
Alright, Samoza, that didn't seem as definite as perhaps you would have hoped.
Certainly not. I get great suspicion that he may tend to bond himself to Bracknell in his IA. With that response, he seemed rather indefinite in his decision to go against what I view as the greatest threat. I think I shall have to take that into account.
Well, you were first to parley,
Yes.
so you can speak with another contestant if you would like.
Oh yes. I would like my second parley to be with Little One among the Reeds.
With Ludwig?
Oh, sorry, Little, the reptile,
Oh.
the chicken-loving man. He
My
loves chickens far too much.
My hearing is going.
Oh, so is my pharynx. I only recently shoved it back into place.
Little one among the reeds, you have been summoned to a parley circle by Samoza. Do you accept or refuse?
Oh, I accept.
Very well. Samoza, you have 3 minutes, and it begins now.
So let me quickly update you first. The biggest order of business.
And Sumosa will run to like his abyssal locker and just grab a whole bunch of crap and run over and dump it into Little's lap.
We've already gone over the cell. What do we need? Buy me things. Oh, wait, the credits.
And he runs over and then grabs another big old sack of cash and just lofts it over to Little.
That should be enough money to gather the requests that I have. I have spoken to Merrick, and I am more than a little concerned that he does not wish to go against Ragnall. I laid out my plan as Ragnall being the most dangerous, that I unfortunately gave your name as well, that we intend to deal with Ragnall after the monster. And Merrick gave no indication that he wanted to go against Ragnall. He said he would turn on him if logic dictated it. That makes me think perhaps that we could set up some way to logically get rid of him. Yes, make Ragnall the appealing target. But I am quite unsure as to where Merrick's allegiances lie, other than to his own personal benefit. I wish to quail my next IA any attempt at a parley between Ragnall and Merrick, but nothing is guaranteed in this game.
Little is digging through the stuff at this point, but he's got his head cocked toward Samoza and just nods and says, "Well, if logic is his guide, then at the opportune moment we set up Ragnall as a compelling target and let the chips fall where they may. If not, well, we have had too much time in one another's thoughts, and I think we have a solid chance of dealing with such a contingency."
Yes. I will admit,
right.
Jory, you've been great conversation when you're not actively stuffing your face with foul.
Yes, and you are a marvelous conversationalist when your foul scent is not in front of me.
I apologize.
Sumosa will reach a hand into a pocket and pull out a goopy mess and says, "Oh, I had quite forgotten that Ari gave you a good berry 2 weeks ago. That has to be the source of the smell," and will toss it out of his pocket, attempting to disguise.
Little scatters to the far end of the room, just shaking his head, and he's like, look, I have enough issues dealing with the smell of your mind alone. I don't need your physical smell. Just
It used to be a watermelon, it wasn't me!
I've never had watermelon. I'm a predator. I eat meat.
And that is 3 minutes, gentlemen. I'm sorry to interrupt such an intellectually stimulating conversation here. This ends this intermission action. Greetings, Merrick. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
I find myself tempted to try to parley with Praxis, but I think that may be a fool's errand. In all these centuries that I've been in his service, he's only spoken to me once, that very first time when I took on his mission and began the Undying Wardens. But I was curious what he thought of this spectacle that you've orchestrated, because you seek a general, Tharamgul, but I wonder, are you a leader worth following? If memory serves me right, you're just an avatar. Perhaps it is Varillion that I should be talking to. No?
Give me an insight check. 12 total?
Yeah.
Merrick, we have only spent a handful of days together. I can appreciate your perception of your predicament. And I can see the logic in it too. Do not confuse your perceived placement of me within the hierarchy of the pantheon of your world. I assure you I am worthy of your dedication, service, and worship. There is so much more going on here than you know. You're not even considering all of the variables, and this is no fault of your own. You're looking through a keyhole here. That is all.
I see. Well, regardless, maybe I should try to expand that keyhole. Knowledge is power, after all. I haven't seen the Archivist in a while. Let's go see what he knows.
At the mention of the Archivist, the Fate's Hand Tavern fades away and is replaced by a grand archway of the archives. As you hit the threshold, you can see the massive piles of bones on the left and the seemingly endless stacks of bookshelves on the right. A presence enters into your consciousness, and at this point I would ask you to give me either an intimidation, a persuasion, or an investigation roll, please.
Unbelievable.
Final roll?
Yeah, final roll.
Hey, Dave.
Yep.
Merrick has 1 level of exhaustion. He has a disadvantage on all ability checks,
right.
and we already missed it for initiative.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Okay, just give me one more persuasion. I mean, it's
Okay.
probably not going to be lower than a 2. Not that it matters. But.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then maybe just redo the initiative roll as well, and we'll just adjust you for the second and third IAs. Okay, 14 with a +1. So I'm going to put you at 13.
Okay.
Very quickly, you feel this presence enter into your mind, and that door is shut just as quickly. I apologize, Merrick. There is much going on here behind the scenes for this pivotal episode. I do not have time to converse with you now, but I wish you the best of luck.
Do I get the bonuses for being first?
You are the first to visit the Archivist. So before he goes, as the consciousness is fading, give me an insight check, please.
Disadvantage?
Yep. Okay, 5. I do not want you to go empty-handed, so permit me a moment to share some feelings with you. And suddenly your head is flooded with a lifetime of memories and emotion. And you see a lot of imagery of barren plains and foul-smelling swampland. Very quickly, a life that develops at an accelerated rate before your eyes. A creature, like through your own eyes, you see yourself feeding on more and more powerful denizens of a swamp. You also see hunting parties coming for you and just belching out acid, reducing them all to skeleton and liquefied heaps of fleshy matter. You actually, for a brief second, see a sphere of darkness as you see what happened to you from the other side, as the contestants from your first episode facing off against this massive black dragon. As acid was launched towards you, but you miraculously survived due to your training. So clearly you are going to be facing off against Umbrathane. But now a much larger, more powerful version, as it is an ancient black dragon, as since its first appearance has been in a different plane of existence, being tortured and starved, and compared to the material plane, it is aged significantly faster and has been driven almost to the point of insanity, as all of your thoughts are just violent, vengeful ones. Of course, your claws, wings, and tail being very powerful weapons on their own. You now have advantage on all of your attacks against the dragon, and it has disadvantage on its attacks against you.
Okay.
And this ends your intermission action. Greetings, little one. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
I would like to go shopping, Thamgul. If this is my last opportunity, best I spend every penny.
Indeed. The gift shop it is. With that, the display cases and shelves of the gift shop appear before you. What are you interested in purchasing?
Okay, first order business. Little is going to buy a +2 oath bow, which I would like to reflavor as the Hunter's Atlatl. It's like the little notched stick that's used to propel javelins faster.
Okay.
Purely thematic. It's just an oath bow. It's a long bow. And he's going to get the animated shield enhancement for his +2 shield. The +2 oath bow is 7,500 gold. The animated shield is 6,000 gold. A normal Atlatl longbow, for 50 gold, a potion of heroism, 16 bone javelins, a spell scroll of enhance ability, 2 spell scrolls of long strider, 60 arrows, 2 spell scrolls of see invisibility, a single spell scroll of wall of stone, a single spell scroll of revivify for 400 gold, a potion of supreme healing, sneezing and choking, a single instance for 480 gold, a spell scroll of heroism, 2 spell scrolls of sanctuary, potion of fire breath. And now here's stuff. A +2 Rod of the Pact Keeper, made of ebony, topped with an obsidian raven seated on an amethyst skull for 16,000 gold. A Periapt of Proof Against Poison for 5,000 gold. 4 spell scrolls of Remove Curse. A spell scroll of Warding Wind. Spell rot 2 of Warding Wind for 480. A spell rot 2 of Gust of Wind for 480 gold. 2 spell scrolls of Mirror Image for 480 gold. A spell scroll of Catnap for 400 gold. Crystal Vial worth 300 gold. A potion of Fire Breath and 2 potions of Superior Healing. What's left in the display case, if anything, if everything?
Everything is there, still there.
Everything. Okay. In that case, I would like to purchase 5 additional spell scrolls of Remove Curse for 2,000 gold total. 38 plus 2 arrows, an additional mundane Atlatl longbow, a single counter spell tattoo for 800 gold. And then Little would like to purchase the +2 and +3 gems. The one that gives +3 to a weapon.
Okay.
And the one that gives +2 to a weapon.
And do you want it permanently or temporarily?
No, permanently.
Okay, permanently for the +2 amethyst.
Yeah.
An 8. Charisma and con saves at disadvantage. -2 to AC. Okay, so you have the +2 Amethyst of Enchantment. And the +3 was the other item you wanted to do?
Yep.
-2 Intelligence.
Oh, my stars and garters. I'll take it.
Okay, second
That's what all
roll.
the spell scrolls have removed cursor for. Second
Yeah, for sure. 12. -2 Dex. 19. -4 to Initiative. Anything else here at the gift shop for you, little one?
Little just kind of shakes his head and like, well, one more thing, Thermghoul. So, in this entire time, he's essentially just been putting the appropriate money into the receptacle, and then the associated item pops out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Little just looks at Thermghoul with a particularly wide smile and says, "Well, you did tell me I no longer have any use for this cash. So and he holds up the pitiful jingling remnant of Samoza's purse and then just says, I can do whatever I want with this, so I think I will plan for the future, as you suggested. And Little would like to first buy 50 bags of grain for 5 copper. Excuse me, 1 copper each. And then he will spend 165 gold on chickens for a single copper each. So if provided you're okay with it, 16,500 chickens come pouring out of this thing, I assume. And just to be clear, I don't want a mechanical benefit off of this. I have no intention of a single one of these things coming into the fight. I just want to bury the tavern in stupid birds.
So it's not quite that easy. We don't carry that much poultry just sitting around, but I will have people start to make some inquiries. For now, there are several available, though, if you're hungry.
How many chickens can Little get in the meantime?
I'm sure we could round up 10 or so for you. No problem.
Okay. So, I guess he puts in a mail order for a couple thousand chickens.
I owe you.
Yeah, and Little just looks a little crestfallen at the fact that there is not now an army of chickens occupying the gift shop. But, oh God, that's a chicken reference, isn't it? But he just picks up one of the 10 chickens, just, thank you very much, just very forlornly walks out.
All right. Well, I hope that you enjoy them. I apologize. I
intend to enjoy 16,000 chickens, Thermghoul.
Greetings, Arachno. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd be upset, I guess, if I wasn't, more disappointed in the ambition that this group seems to lack, but really seem to be one with common sense. Please take me to go see Merrick.
You wish to parley with Merrick?
Yes, but very quickly. I would like to do it in somewhere a little bit more fitting of warriors of our status. And he will attempt to use an investigation check to alter the room that they are talking into. Be more like a very high-end restaurant, with like nice tables, high-backed chairs, maybe some invisible servants bringing drinks. But yeah, shape it to be nice.
Sure, give me a roll.
Tactical assessment to add a D10 to his investigation check.
Okay. Is that meant to only be in... Can you just read out tactical assessment?
I just rolled a 1, so who cares? Tactical assessment. That's my second one in a row. You got to be freaking kidding me. Tactical assessment. When you make an intelligence, investigation, intelligence history, or a wisdom insight check, you can expend 1 superiority die and add the superiority die to the ability check.
Okay, all right. See, not that easy, huh?
Yeah, he gets an 11 to spice the place up a bit.
Well, let me accommodate you if you don't find that too patronizing, Ragnall.
Of course.
Okay, I will grab Merrick for you. Greetings, Merrick. You have been invited to a parley circle, a rather posh parley circle by Ragnall Witchbane. Do you accept or refuse?
I accept.
So you notice that this is not the usual kind of shadowy, isolated parley. It appears you're within some sort of high-end tavern somewhere with nice music playing, high-backed leather chairs. It's quite delightful, actually. Do you accept or refuse?
I accept.
Very well. In that case, Ragnall, you have 3 minutes, and it begins now.
Well, forgive my sense of dramatics, but I couldn't have us talking in a shabby little den anymore. Greetings, Merrick, leader of the Undying Wardens. I seem to have struck at least an agreement with you that the way the others seem to be thinking made no damn sense at all. I am quite disappointed that we will be fighting a dragon with no gain for us, and two must move on here. I would propose an alliance with you, should you be amenable.
I agree. I'm in as much disappointment as you are that we're not going up against this demon. Although I am a little happy that it is the dragon and not a lich. Got to have some payback for that lizard. But in terms of your... Yes. You know, acid is not something that's comes off the armor easy. But in terms of striking up an alliance, I would not be against it. In fact, I was thinking out of the other contestants for today, aligning with you would probably be in my best interest for us to move on to the finale. I should say, in terms of being upfront and honest, I was already approached by one of the others, and while we agreed to fight the dragon head on first before turning on everyone, they did mention that they wanted to go against you first once that happened. So, watch your back. But I will watch it as well, if we are together.
This is boring. And I'm not particularly interested in any of the others, or this dragon. What do you think of our dear host, if he truly is the great deceiver? What does Merrick the Undying Warden leader propose for the finale?
I'll be honest, I did not give it too much thought. I was hoping to try to speak with Praxis, but that might be harder to do than a simple parlay. But is Tharamgul the great deceiver or not? I don't know. And quite honestly, I don't know if it matters at this point in our lives. I did try to see how he reacted to when I mentioned Virillion, but typical Tharamgul, throwing it off, you know, brushing it aside, deflecting. So,
well,
I don't
if you wish
know.
to kill the dragon, yeah, I agree. But if you wish to kill the
And
dragon
that
at the
is
end
3
yourself,
minutes, gentlemen. And so ends this intermission action. Greetings, Ludwig. It is time for your first intermission action. What would you like to do?
Greetings, Randall. You know, it's interesting. I kept thinking why I'm always at your second episode. Always, right? always one step behind you, never quite getting there, but also being here. It's really a lot. And Dave, as Ludwig is saying this, I, Leo, and everyone watching the Crucible have seen people try to will themselves places in the Crucible, right? Using intelligence. Ludwig is a warlock. Ludwig is used to getting power from other beings and using that, right? Converting it into a bit of their own. Could I try and make a charisma check so that I get to a parlay 30 seconds before turn goal? Or maybe 1 minute if I roll really well. Does that make any sense?
Get to one early in what sense?
To a parlay.
But like one of your parlays?
Yeah. Like I say, I would like to parlay with this person, and as Firmgo is gathering the energy, Ludwig will try to reach out and go like 30 seconds before turn goal, or 1 minute, just so I can speak privately with the person. That's my intent here.
Oh, okay. With the person that you want to parlay with, but without Therinwil being there.
Yes. Yes.
And then that would still require an Arcana or an investigation check.
Are you sure? Even if it's a little bit harder because I'm using charisma?
I mean,
it's just a different ability. It's just a different ability to score with the same skill that he's saying. So
no, I understand. Yeah.
And I'm also trying to distract Firmgo a little bit with a bit of, persuasion or...
Well, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, come on. 3. 3.
Okay. All right. Ludwig, what would you like to do for your first intermission action?
Well, I would like to speak with Little, and I'll try to reach out for the energy that Turnbull uses, and I'll fail.
What are you doing, Ludwig? That's not how things work here. Patience.
Sorry, I'm so excited, we'll final round that I'll be alive probably, so gotta make a news.
I understand. I can't blame you for trying. Kudos to you. Just one moment, I'll get Little. Greetings, Little One among the reeds. You have been summoned to a parley circle by Ludwig Lethalis. Do you accept or refuse the invitation?
I accept.
Very well. In that case, Ludwig, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Little. I hope we get the chance to fight against the Lich as well, as I saw that look of recognition in your face when I mentioned why healing it would be a good idea. But I am at this parlay today to tell you that I have no problem with you or Samosa, and that it would be an honor to be the final 3 left alive. Of course, only 2 of us can keep going after that. But you are a creative sort. There were ways for 3 people to get out. You see, I didn't want Ferngul to hear us talking, but I think you know what I mean. I don't have the means to do so, at least not the means to buy the scroll, but if you do, keep that in mind. Apart from that, this is a regular parlay. I'm just asking for a bit of help. I have my targets for tonight, people that I don't think are trustworthy in fighting Ferngul at the end. And you and Sumosa are not on those targets, so I would appreciate it if we were the last ones to fight each other. You can pretend I'm Firmgo. I can, put a red cloak on and I am Firmgo, Master of Fate.
Ludwig, I must apologize to you. Ordinarily, in the past, when others have sought to parley with me, they leave me with gifts, and the contingencies of this particular match, which I'm sure you understand, require that I keep my resources close to the chest. However, that method to which you alluded, assuredly, I know what you speak, and should the day favor my intent,
I will gladly expend such resources and extend them to you.
Interesting. I will blow a hole through that dragon of yours then.
That is my hope. Just to be clear, should I survive this battle and yourself is fallen and a compatriot of my choosing remains alive, then by all means that contingency will extend to you. I should warn you that it is earmarked for another should they fall. But you are...
Of course, if I can protect both of you. Sure.
Yes.
I like
you
that
are,
deal.
Yes, and should the worst come to worst and we are the last standing, please understand that any damage I do, I will attempt to undo after the fact.
And that is 3 minutes. Gentlemen, your time is up.
Dave, did Little lie to me right now?
Give me an insight check, and Little, if you could just roll a d20 and then let the refs know whether you were being deceptive or honest. Ludwig,
right, I'm back.
You don't get the sense that Little was being in any way deceptive to you.
Okay. Right.
All right, so that ended the intermission action. We'll see you both shortly.
That was awesome. Like, none of us said what we were talking about, yet we both knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like
I've been thinking.
maybe there may have been some conversations happening beforehand. Just perhaps.
No, actually,
No?
no, never. Just, the voices in my head. Oh, Little, I did dream I would be in the game with you. I dreamt it was me, you, Andrew, and Death Trap. And you were the one that killed me. So let's see if I dreamt correctly.
Okay, we'll see you guys in a minute. Greetings, Somoza. It is time for your second and then your final intermission actions. What would you like to do next?
I believe I would like to parley again. This time with Ragnall.
Greetings, Ragnall Witchbane. You have been summoned to a parley circle by Somoza. Do you accept or refuse the invitation?
He will accept.
Very well. In that case, Somoza, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Before the timer starts, Lord Tharangul,
Okay.
might Ragnall and I take a seat at the bar and conduct this over a glass or two of liquid refreshments?
Sure.
Let's do something a little bit nicer. And he's going to snap his fingers and attempt to change the room again to a more appropriate atmosphere.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation or intelligence.
Okay. He will also add one of his superiority die to this.
Okay.
I am rolling like trash.
Am I able to give the help action on that?
Sure.
Okay. That's either going to be a 17 or a 19. Oh, not too bad.
With a wink of his eye to you, Ragnall, so that Somoza cannot see, you guys find yourselves in quite the nice atmosphere. A tavern of sorts that does not resemble the Fate's End Tavern whatsoever. Very nice atmosphere. And I hope this is much more comfortable for you both. Your time begins now.
Thank you. I have long sought to speak with you in this competition, Ragnall. Your penchant for sudden death is enviable amongst all contestants, and in all honesty, you were on my short list of contestants I would have happily aligned myself with had we not come to this late in the game. I will notify you that I did indeed vote for the Black Dragon and Lich. I must stay good to my word and side with the lizard in his desire for vengeance. And what is the man without his word? Cutting to the chase directly, I have the power to lock you down in combat. You have the power to end me in 6 seconds. Nobody enjoys living in constant fear of mutual destruction, and I would like to formally propose a ceasefire betwixt the two of us.
He kind of looks at you. Those are some nice wings.
Thank you.
Oberon's, correct?
Oh, you have an eye for detail.
Oh, it seems as though we share more than, let's say, an ally that was now dead. He snaps his fingers, and the kind of kraken tentacles of leather on his right-hand side, like by his top rib, peel away. What's immediately obvious is embedded in between his first and second rib is a purple gem surrounded by rings of iron and metal, and a black series of veins pulsing with some kind of ichor appear to be kind of moving out from it, and they're very thick around kind of the tree center of it, almost like a tree ring, and they have recently begun to kind of start to creep out over his body. I see as you are another victim of obscure eye.
Well, you know more than you let on, sir.
And Sumosa will clutch his pendant necklace.
But I'm afraid the answer will be no.
Much apologies.
It's not that I don't like you, but you've already made your decision, and I don't want to lie to you. I respect you enough for that.
I will leave you.
Fang, you're allied with Miss Maribel, and quite frankly, at least I'm glad I got to share a drink with you.
Yes, sir.
But I would rather tell you the truth than simply lie and backstab you later.
I will give you one word of warning out of our mutual respect for Edafang or Murloc or whatever he is called. Do not trust Merrick. He approached me about betraying you. I would be careful with that one.
Interesting. It matters very little, though. Merrick is of middling danger to me. Well, I do at least appreciate you enough for that.
It was a pleasure.
Good luck against the dragon.
To glorious victory and life
And
eternal.
that is your time.
Think.
I hope you have savored this moment of levity before the battle to come. We will see you shortly, Ragnar. Well, the lines have been drawn in the sand, I think.
I'm not quite sure where either Merrick or Ragnar stand, to be honest with you, but I hope my words have done some good. I would hate to miss the pleasure of ensuring my survival and seeing you dead in a few days.
Indeed. Well, Sumosa, you have one intermission action left. How would you like to use it?
Well, if my compatriot and I have plot's a word, scheduled correctly, he will be visiting the gift shop, and though with Daylon and then who else? Matt, Edafang, Merrick, your gift shop seems to be handing out multiple personalities to quite a lot of people. I'll trust that he has that area covered, and I would like to take my third action to prepare with him after he has left the gift shop. Hopefully without another personality in his head.
Very well. You will prepare with Little then.
Yes, please.
All right. So, for your second intermission action.
Well, Faramgul, I'd like to go to the Archivist.
Archivist, no problem. As you mention the word Archivist, the Fate's Hand Tavern disappears and is replaced by the grand archway of the archives. You see the familiar piles of bones and endless supply of books and tomes on your right. As you cross the threshold, you feel a presence enter into your consciousness. So at this time, I would ask you for either persuasion, investigation, or intimidation, please.
Okay.
You feel the presence of Abranga all enter into your mind. Greetings, little one among the reeds. How may I be of service to you today?
Oh, God. I tell you, Abramgol, it is a pleasure to talk to you. Simply by dint of contrast, you would not believe the mental detritus that Sumosa leaves behind if you talk to him for any length of time like this. It's disgusting. Well, I actually have a number of questions. I have a pair of questions, in addition to desiring to learn more about the room. How would you like to break that up, Dave?
Let's cover the room first, if that's what you're putting your roll towards.
Mm-hmm.
The room that you will be fighting in is known as the Room of Many Feces. I know that seems quite crass, and I apologize. However, I do enjoy a good pun, and I assure you, when you get there, you will see what I mean. There are elements within that would be scary enough to vacate one's bowels. So mechanically, I'll just say it is an 80 by 80 square room, stone. The ceiling is 100 feet. And with a quick mental glimpse, you can see that there are 4 masks hanging on each of the walls at about a 6-foot height. And just for the record, this is the unrevealed room number 6.
Sounds delightful.
It will surprise, I have no doubt. And you had other questions for me. We are short on time.
I did. I will make those as quickly as possible, Rumgul. Perhaps if you could just pull them from my mind. That's a terrible joke. Please don't.
I am thirsty.
Well, if I go down this round, tell Tharamgul you have dibs on my corpse.
How delightful! Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I recall from our prior conversations you haven't had much in the way of lizard men. And I'd prefer my body not go to waste.
I have tried frog legs.
It's a little different. Bit gamier. Is Tharamgul beholden to fate spheres in the same way that the contestants are? If one were to, I don't know, say Tharamgul threw a bolt of black nothingness at somebody, could that somebody spend a fate sphere and hope to change his mind?
Give me an insight or investigation or persuasion.
Okay. 21.
Despite what you might think, Tharamgul is no fool. He would not grant you an item of power that could be used against him. That would be foolish.
Understood. Thank you. And for my second question, do you have any historical records regarding rituals requiring the bloody expenditure of 120 souls through combat, traps, and extremely grueling dialogue with unpleasant hosts?
Give me another investigation check.
Oh, wow. Nope, yep. I'll stick with it.
Yes. And that ends your intermission action.
Yes, the answer is yes. Oh, beautiful.
And with that, I'm sorry, but there are certain things that could endanger my placement here should I reveal them carelessly. Perhaps we will have another time to talk. Perhaps not. But I am afraid I must be going now.
Well, look on the bright side. One way or the other, if I get my way and you get your way, we'll be exchanged. At least you will getting a piece of my mind.
I am grateful for this, little one. You are quite astute, and I'm sure that comes with a very delicious flavor.
You are what you eat.
Indeed.
And chicken.
All right, so that ends this intermission action. As you now appear back in the Fate's Hand Tavern in front of Therangul. Not so sure I like where your questions are heading there, little one. Nevertheless, it is time for your final intermission action, and I assume you wish to prepare.
I do, Therangul, and don't shoot the messenger. They weren't my questions. Shoot me for other reasons, if you don't mind. But yeah, I would like to prepare, and Kier and I had some intent toward sharing that.
Indeed. Let me grab Samoza for you. Greetings once again, Samoza. It is time for your joint preparation time. So I leave it to the two of you.
Little pulls out his little bone clothespins and shuts his nose. Well, companion, shall we?
Yes, I believe so.
Ah. Oh, by the way, Ludwig hopes to be resurrected. Ludwig hopes we'll be nice to him. He had a word with me. But,
Excellent.
yes. Little will hand over to Samoza the +2 Rod of the Pact Keeper, ebony topped with obsidian raven, sleeted on an amethyst skull. Ha! The periapta proof against poison, 9 spell scrolls of remove curse. I need help. Yeah, Little holds up a pair of amethysts. I was busy, and
Nice.
A spell scroll of Warding Wind, a spell rot tattoo of Warding Wind, which Little will. I imagine it takes some searching, but he'll ink it onto Samoza himself. He just has to find some relatively intact skin. Spell rot okay, spell scroll of Warding Wind, spell rot tattoo of Warding Wind, spell rot tattoo of Gust of Wind, 2 spell scrolls of Mirror Image, a spell scroll of Catnap, the crystal vial worth 300 GP, a potion of Fire Breath, and 2 potions of Superior Healing. You will hand all of that over. For Little's part in this prep round, he is going to spend a 3rd level spell slot to cast Aid on himself and Samoza, giving us each +10 maximum hit points. He will then trigger the spell refueling ring to restore the spell slot, and then put that ring on a cord around his neck so that it's functionally an amulet that he can cast with. You have to be able to hold the infusion as an artificer to cast it, and there's enough question about a ring being held that I figured I should wear a necklace just in case. He will then, over the course of an hour, detune from the spell refueling ring and attune to the Hunter's Atlatl, which is actually a +2 oath bow. He will apply 2 vials of oil of sharpness to 10 +2 arrows, and he will apply the amethysts he got in the gift shop to the 2 mundane atlatls, also known as longbows. I don't want to be disarmed. And he will put the +2 atlatl and the hunter's atlatl both in the efficient quiver that he's wearing. He will then cast enhanceability from a spell scroll. Actually, before he does that, he will beg Samoza to purify the 5 consequences off of his items using the scrolls.
Yeah, Wibbly Wobbly. Samoza uses 5 of the remove curses to purify those off.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
He can cast them naturally through his spell list, so no check is needed.
Okay. Little will then cast Enhance ability from a spell scroll, granting him advantage on his attempt to cast Freedom of Movement. Okay. I will expend a Flash of Genius to bump that into... give it a +4, so I will successfully cast the spell.
It's a +4 it gives you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little will then cast Longstrider on himself and Samoza from a scroll, giving each of us +10 movement. He will cast See Invisibility on himself and Samoza from a spell scroll, giving us, See Invisibility. Little will cast Heroism on himself from a spell scroll, then cast Sanctuary on himself and Samoza from a spell scroll. As his last orders of business, he will drink a potion of heroism, which is Bless and 10 temporary hit points. Feed a potion of fire breath to his construct and give it a potion of superior healing to hold. And then he will activate the animated shield and the cloak of invisibility so that the shield, like wibbly wobbliness, the shield should last 9 rounds before he has to interact with it again and just be floating there.
Okay, Samoza.
Want to confirm that Little, in addition to handing me my shopping list, also gave me a Ring of Protection,
Yes.
a Dust of Sneezing and Coughing, and a Supreme Healing Potion?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Samoza, having accepted all those items, will begin his prep. First, as Little stated, he will cast Remove Curse 5 times from spell scrolls provided by Little on Little's items to expunge those consequences.
There you go.
With Little as tattoo artist, Samoza will accept 1 tattoo of Gust of Wind, flavored as wispy spirals around his neck, and a second tattoo of Warning Wind. I wrote, Little can feel free to get artsy if you want to RP what exactly that looks like, but have those tattoos.
It looks like it's very minuscule, draconic script. Like you have to get really closer than you would like to Samoza to actually read it, but otherwise it looks like wispies.
Samoza will, with a 6th Remove Curse spell scroll, take out his Staff of Withering and remove Curse on that to remove the 10% max HP reduction.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he will remove that. He will cast that 7th now, Remove Curse, to scrub 1 level of exhaustion from the Staff of Withering. It was not currently affecting him, but it was still on the item. It had just passed because he took a long rest from the moment that he got it until his next appearance. So it was dampened, I believe, rather than fully removed. But he will remove that. With all of the curses from the Staff of Withering expunged, Samoza will spend 1 hour to unattune from the Staff of Withering. And then 1 hour to instead attune to the Rod of the Pact Keeper. He will spend 1 additional hour to attune to the Ring of Protection. He will cast another spell scroll of Remove Curse, so that will be now 8 in total, to remove the -2 effect on Bona's Cape of the Mountebank. And he will put that on. It does not require attunement.
Okay.
He will put the Cape of the Mountebank on. As he does so, he says, this accessory is quite gaudy for my taste. Perhaps a bit of grime will better it to my current state. And he'll rub it in the dirt on the floor before putting it back on so it isn't quite so fancy and prim. He will cast 1 pack slot and 5 sorcery points to twin spell Death Ward on himself and Little. Death Ward is a 4th level spell, but as I have 5th level pack slots, I have to cast it at 5th level, so it would require 5 sorcery points to twin that. He would like to expend his 2nd pack slot to recover those 5 sorcery points. He will then use the spell scroll of Catnap to cast Catnap on himself and say, as he does, I would like a 10-minute nap, but make sure to wake me up in 10 minutes. And just like magic words and then slump into a pile on the ground.
10 minutes later, you're awoken by Thermgul just like tapping on your forehead repeatedly until you wake up.
But Thamgul, I wanted to. Actually, no, I didn't.
Oh, what a wonderful Cunard, little!
Backs away and falls back before standing back up. With a catnap done, I recover both of my expended pack slots from the short rest. With my Eldritch Invocation Trickster's Escape, I would like to cast Freedom of Movement on myself. It does not require a pack slot because it is stated in the Eldritch Invocation Trickster's Escape that I can cast it for free once per long rest. And he would like to cast on himself with a spell scroll. He would like to cast Mirror Image, Blade Ward, which lasts until the end of my next turn, so would essentially give me one turn until my turn ends, once combat ends. He would like to enter into his Form of Dread. That was extremely anticlimactic. A minimum of 1 plus 9 for a total of 10 temporary HP. He will use 1 spell scroll of Warding Wind. Warding Wind does require concentration. The area is difficult terrain for creatures other than me, and attack rolls of ranged weapon attacks have disadvantage if they pass in or out of the wind. I'm looking at you, Ragnall. That is for you.
In case it's not crystal clear.
And then he has his Garnet of Defense, which is coupled with the Ring of Evasion, which gains 1d3 charges at the beginning of each dawn. It has been 3 dawns since he last appeared, and it can hold a maximum of 3 dart charges. So rather than rolling 1d3 3 times, if he rolls, sorry.
Well,
question.
Yeah, for the purpose of those things, it's as if 1 day has gone by in between your appearances.
Oh, so it's only been 1 day since my last appearance, or is it 1 day for each episode?
Well, for the purposes of magic items, you only get to roll once between appearances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, I will roll a d3. I guess I'll roll a d6 and have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and roll that to DM to see how many charges I've regained of that. 4. Okay, so 2 charges on that. All right, and finally, I would like to use my final spell scroll of Remove Curse, but have it proc as we're going through the door. I would like to, Little and I would both like to use Remove Curse to dissolve our soul bond and regain each 1 fate sphere.
Okay.
But we want that to happen as kind of an RP as we're entering the room in full view of everybody else.
Okay.
Ludwig gave me a rock crew jacket. I don't imagine it's anything other than flavor, but he's going to put that on underneath the cape if he can.
Sure.
I don't know if it does anything cool, then, well, I might have missed out on something cool. But if it's just flavor, he's just going to throw that underneath the cape of the Mountebank.
Yeah, you don't detect anything special from it.
Cool. All that being done, Sumosa, having cast now Death Ward on himself, will once again become not ugly, decaying Sumosa.
You still smell.
Okay, I mean, so maybe when you guys are doing your intros before you go in, you can do the soul or the dissolution of your soul bond.
Perfect. Right, and that should be all for Sumosa for preparations.
All right. Is that it for both of you then?
Yes, I think it is. I think I'm ready to go. Are you?
I would say good luck, but I think that you have left very little to luck with this.
Certainly hope so.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you shortly. Greetings, Ragnall. It is time for your second and your final intermission actions. What would you like to do for your second?
Take me to the shop, please.
Sure. All right, so gift shop shelves and display cases appear before you. You can see that in tier 2 and 3, the amethysts have been sold.
Yeah, Ragnall doesn't care about that at all. He is going to take this kind of like, I guess, an abyssal credit card, because there's just no way he could carry all of this weight. Unless there's just like a bunch of demons that can bring all of his gold over and just start setting it like bag by bag on the shelf counter. Looks like I've got some spending to do. Oh, and I won't be needing these. He puts the wings of flying, the bracers of defense, and the +2 armor set them on the counter as well.
Okay, sounds good.
He's going to buy 1 cloak of invisibility and attune to it for 80,000 gold. He's going to buy and enchant 1 +3 animated shield and attune to it for 30,000 gold. He will enhance his studded glamorous leather to a +3 for 24,000 gold. 47 plus 3 arrows, 18,800 gold. As a reminder, I'm going into this with 235,000 gold, so I have a lot. Okay, moving on. He is going to buy 7 oils of sharpness for a total of 12,800 gold, 2 purple worm poisons, 2 potions of supreme healing, 2 ever-smoking bottles, 1 oil of slipperiness, 5 vicious darts, 3 potions of flying. He's going to buy 1 third-level spell tattoo of spirit shroud, 1 spell tattoo of catnap for 800 gold, because all that teleporting around and trying stuff comes at a cost. 1 third-level spell tattoo of spell magic, 2 potions of speed. He's going to buy 2 potions of heroism, 2 spell tattoos of shield, 1 spell tattoo of longstrider, spell tattoos of absorb elements, potion of superior healing, 5 poison of serpent venom poisons, 1 spell tattoo of continuous flame, 1 spell tattoo of invisibility, 2 third-level spell tattoos of counterspell, 1 spell tattoo of mirror image for 400, 50 GP worth of ruby dust so he can use the continuous flame, 1 spell tattoo of disguise self, 2 spell tattoos of dispel magic, 1 spell tattoo of intellect fortress for 800 gold, and another one for 800 gold. 1 dust of disappearance, 2 first level spell tattoos of shield, 2 more potions of speed, 2 more potions of heroism, 2 spell tattoos of jump, 2 oils of sharpness, 2 spell tattoos of invisibility, 2 counterspell tattoos, 2 absorb element tattoos, 2 more longstrider tattoos, 2 spell tattoos of mage armor, 2 disguise self, 2 mirror images, 2 iron bands of Bolaro, 1 gilded flower worth at least 300 gold, 2 third level spell tattoos of summon fae, 2 nice tools magic aura, 2 feather token whips, 2 horns of blasting, and then Ragnell is going to just sit down fucking exhausted from rattling that off.
Anything else, Ragnall?
Goes down at his 96 gold, 5 silver, and 5 copper. Tell the help to go buy something nice. And he just flicks them the rest of the money as like a tip, which of course, is still like a fractionally small tip, so it's not a very good one any best. But hey, I mean, any tip's good. That isn't the tip of a spear.
So, that concludes your second intermission action?
Yes, and let's get on to the fun stuff.
Third?
I will prepare.
Prepare, okay. Okay, you can list off everything that you're preparing for this battle.
Ragnar will apply the catnap tattoo, and he will activate it, taking a 10-minute nap before getting back up and getting the full benefits of a short rest. After that, he will put 2 potions of healing and 2 potions of superior healing, 1 potion of haste, and 2 potions of supreme healing onto his belt for quick access. He will take the purple worm poison and apply it to 2 arrows. He will take the serpent venom poison and apply it to also 2 of the +3 arrows, or 5 of the +3 arrows. So 5 on the +3 arrows for serpent venom, the 2 purple worm poisons also on the +3 arrows. He will apply the oil of slipperiness to himself. He will set the ever-smoking bottle passwords to descend the stair, the iron bands to release the chains, and the horn of blastings to fight. These may be terrible. Dorian, I didn't know you were going to be here tonight, so these were kind of supposed to be tongue-in-cheek references to some of the games you run here for getting that right. But I will have something for you in just a minute here. He is going to apply the tattoo of Summon Fae and is going to summon it. And he would like it to, since you can choose the form, take on the form of Ellison. The boy did manage to, I guess, root me out in a way. Why not do something a little bit fitting? And I think the only difference mainly is that he's a little bit more evil looking. He's got kind of, instead of these, kind of ram horns, they're a little bit more demonic in nature. And he has these kind of all red eyes. Well then, I know you're simply a facsimile, but Ellison, how do you feel?
I'm not sure I particularly like the boy's small body. But I look forward to having time to play. After all, you did truly believe we were the only ones here. I'm glad to see we were not, and that the Great Deceiver has many working in his shadows. Thank you, Arachna.
Excellent. He is then going to give the other spell tattoo of Summon Fae, along with the Golden Flower, and instructs Facsimile Ellison to summon another Fae Facsimile Ellison. So there are now two of them, as they are two separate summons. And he will instruct the first Fae Ellison to obey his instructions as if he were the ones. The second one he will instruct the first one to tell the second one to obey his Racnell's instructions as if he were the first one. So basically, Racnell can do both. So the first Fae Ellison is concentrating on the second Fae Ellison. He will then also command them to immediately counterspell Samoza and Little if they try to do anything, and attack anyone that Racnell is currently attacking if he is unable to speak. Moving on, he will apply Oil of Sharpnesses, 5 oils of sharpness to 11 of the regular +3 arrows, 2 of the humanoid slayer arrows, 2 of the purple worm poisons, and 5 of the serpent venom arrows. He will give an ever-smoking bottle, a horn of blasting, a feather token, and an iron band to each of the Fae. For himself, he will apply a tattoo of Spirit Shroud, Dispel Magic, 2 shields, 1 long strider, 2 Absorb Elements, 1 of the Continuous Flames, See Invisibility, 2 counter spells, 1 Mirror Image, and Disguise Self on himself. He will then activate Long Strider on himself. He will activate the Continuous Flame on the back of the front of the shield, the animated shield, so it looks like the front of it is on fire. You'll see why this is fun in a second. He will activate Disguise Self on himself. You look pretty much the same. His Cloak Invisibility adds those 2 daggers on the front. And a little Ioun Stone of Greater Absorption begins kind of rotating around his head, which is a marbled lavender and green sphere. I did check about this before, so. Each of the Fae is going to apply a tattoo of Dispel Magic, Jump, Shield. They're going to activate the jumps on themselves. See Invisibility, they're going to activate that. I don't remember if I said that for Racnell, but he's also going to activate that. Mage Armor on the Fae, they're going to activate that on themselves. Disguise Self, they're both going to look a bit more stylish. Each one is going to kind of wear a small robe of red. One will have a mask that is kind of all cracked, like the back dagger, and one will have a mask that is completely pristine. They will apply and activate Nazgul's magic aura on themselves, creating them each technically as constructs, and apply mirror image to themselves and activate that. I don't remember if I said activate mirror image on Racnell, but he's doing that too. So there are now 8 little mini Ellisons running around. And one of them, the second one, that does not have anything active, will concentrate and activate, apply and activate Intellect Fortress on Racnell. So Racnell, all 3 now are concentrating. He will load up the quiver with the appropriate arrows and darts, which means he has to take 1 +2 arrow and put it in escrow. Now Racnell is going to take out a potion of speed, heroism, and flight, and he is going to go over, pick up his jug of alcohol, kind of just pour in a nice strong drink, pour all 3 in together, stir it around, and take a shot of all 3 potions at once.
Okay, let's have that potion misability.
Ooh, that's not good at all.
No, 9. Both potions.
Both potions lose their effect, so flight and heroism's gone.
Oh, I have extras. He will just take out more and drink them again.
Another roll. 30.
Yeah, both potions work, but their numerical effects and durations are halved.
Fly speed is, I believe, half my movement, or I believe it's half my movement, and I get an extra 25% speed in 1 AC.
So if your speed was 30, you'd get an extra 15.
And then I'm going to drink another potion of heroism.
Okay, so go ahead and give another roll, please. So 95.
Numerical effects and duration of one potion are doubled. If neither has anything to double, they work normally.
Okay, so the two we're talking about here are heroism and flight?
And yeah, flight was the one right before heroism.
Okay,
So which ones? I believe I have all three active. Flight and speed are halved, and then I believe one more is just going to get doubled at random.
Yeah, so out of the three then, let's roll a d6. So 1 and 2 will be flight, 3 and 4 will be heroism, and 5 and 6 will be haste.
Speed, yeah.
So 1 was flight, right?
Yeah.
Yep, get my full flight speed back.
So that restores it to normal?
Okay, so normal flight, half speed, and a normal heroism.
Okay, so AC up by 1.
AC's just up by 1. Okay, that's good for Racknell. Then each Fae will take a heroism and haste.
Heroism and haste?
Oh, money's nice. Money's very nice. So they will each take a heroism and haste. So I'll just roll 2d100s.
Okay.
I'll roll them one at a time.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. First Fae gets a 21. Jeez, I am rolling like crap.
One potion loses its effect.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go even haste, odd heroism, even speed.
All right.
So that one just does
one only
heroism.
has. Yep, and the other one will take another shot too. Okay, that one's normal. Now then, Racknell will put up his cloak, activating the invisibility. I'll do that when I'm walking in, just for fun. And also throwing the Dust of Disappearance onto the two Fae. The Fae will also activate their Feather Whip tokens. And they will take the hide action. And Racknell will toss out the animated shield as that begins orbiting around his head. And pull out his oath bow. Not a Tavern ghoul. He snaps his fingers. The kind of kraken peels away from the upper kind of right breast of his body, which wasn't visible before. I'm sorry, the upper left-hand side, which was not shown before. And tattooed along his pectoral are two knives. The first one, kind of dark black, and there being a one behind it that seems to be kind of coated and looks like cracks against his white skin. There also appears to be a mask kind of over top of both. Now, I don't know if you are truly the Great Deceiver or not, but as a shadow blade of the Golden Mask, I suppose it would be my duty to at least try this. I would like to invoke the Gambler's Pact. I do have 3 Fate Spheres, if I could possibly take a shot at a real challenge.
3
I came today to hunt something serious.
You're invoking the Gambler's Pact with 3 Fate Spheres to do what?
How many people, fellow contestants, I suppose I should call them, do I have to kill how quickly to replace this overgrown wizard with something more impressive?
Okay. So we will play a game of chance when everyone is back. I will explain the rules to you. If you win, what happens?
We change targets.
To fight the demon.
Yes.
And if you lose, you just lose your Fate Spheres?
All 3.
I accept this. We will leave it to chance then. For now, this concludes your intermission action.
Of course. As I believe you say, greed is the measure of ambition.
I hope you win this game, Racknell.
Well, I wouldn't have put myself out here for just anyone. I was not expecting you to be who you were. I perhaps would have acted a little bit differently, but I suppose it's time to start taking things seriously.
Indeed. I respect that. I respect you, Ragnar. Alright, we must carry on with business, though. Greetings, Merrick. I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
All these people with deep pockets just buying me out completely. There's very little left on the shelves. Nonetheless, a problem easily solved. So, what would you like to do for your second intermission action?
The gift shop.
The gift shop. No problem. And with that, the Fate's Hand Tavern fades away as you see the display cases and shelves appear before you. What can I get for you, Merrick?
Well, before I start my little shopping spree, I was looking at your menu of items, and I noticed there were some items that were not purchasable, but were permissible, since I cannot buy them with coin. And there's not going to be a gift shop in the next round should I survive. How about a trade? A few spins of the wheel for such an item would seem fair. After all, it is in your best interest for us to be as strong as we can be. Or is that more of your deceptive bullshit?
Out of character, what items are you looking to get?
One of two, depending on how allowable this is. The priority one would be the belt of the Storm Giant.
But those are purchasable, right?
So according to the Crucible of Fate magic item list, they are not purchasable, but they don't say they can't be used in the game. So they're allowed within the game, you just can't buy them.
The belt of giant strength?
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea why those wouldn't be on the permissible list. I don't remember why we didn't use those, but I can't just pull them in for gift shop roles because that opportunity hasn't been afforded to everyone.
Well, they haven't thought of it. That shouldn't be on me.
Yes, no, I understand it's a good idea to try to get items that have not been introduced to the game in a while, but if they're not within the rules, then you cannot allow them.
So I would imagine the other item would be the Holy Avenger. That too would not be allowed to trade for wheels of the spin of the wheel.
I'm a little short on Holy Avengers at the moment. Not an item we keep on hand typically here, unless under very serious lock and key.
Was worth a shot. In that case, I'll buy a +3 plate armor, enchanted for adamantine. I will sell my existing old plate armor. I'll get a +3 shield, a +3 longsword, 2 oils of sharpness, 2 potions of speed, 2 potions of heroism, gauntlets of ogre, winged boots, a ring of protection, periapt of poison, goggles of night. I'll buy 1 3rd level spell scroll of remove curse. I'll buy 2 4th level spell scrolls of death ward. I'll buy a spell tattoo for shield, for mirror image, for longstrider, a 2nd level spell tattoo for see invisibility, and 25 gold worth of powdered silver.
Very well. Anything else you would like to purchase?
No, that is all.
Very well. And the gift shop fades away as the Fate's Hand Tavern appears. And for your final intermission action, Eric.
I'll prepare.
And how would you like to prepare?
I will apply the oil of sharpness to the longsword. I will drink my potion of vitality that I've had to remove my levels of exhaustion. I will use my remove curse spell scroll to eliminate the consequence item on that warhammer that I used to get my +2 int back. I will use the spell tattoo for Longstrider, for see invisibility, and for mirror image. And for mirror image, instead of 3 copies of myself, it'll be 3 separate, I guess, appearances. They're all wearing my armor that I'm currently, but one is a Dragonborn, one is a Drow, and one is a Tabaxi.
Okay.
I will use the Death Ward spell scroll, so I would have to roll for that since I don't have access to 4th level spells yet. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Okay, so Death Ward works.
I will drink a potion of heroism. In hindsight, I probably should have done that first, but okay. And top it off with using a 1st level spell slot to activate Shield of Faith.
Okay, Shield of Faith, so concentration.
Yeah.
Excellent. Not much longer now. One more contestant to go before we get underway. Good luck to you, Merrick.
Thank you.
Greetings, Ludwig. It is time for your second and then final intermission action. Tell me, what would you like to do for your next one?
Well, as I've done many times before, let's go shopping.
Display cases and shelves of the gift shop apparate in front of you. You can see that from the display cases, only the amethysts of enchantment from Tier 2 and Tier 3 have been sold. Everything else remains. What can I interest you in today?
Nothing. I'm still dealing with all the consequences Galileo had in his pocket. I will be selling a chainmail, a potion of greater healing, a potion of healing, a shield, and a potion of fire breath. At the end, that's going to put me at 2,924 gold, because I had my 2,500 as a reward, 203 from Galileo's pockets, and 4 from my last bot. So with all that gold, I will buy 4 spell scrolls of remove curse for 1,600. I will buy 1 spell scroll of Spirit Shroud and 1 potion of heroism for 800. I will buy 2 second level spell scrolls, 1 of lesser restoration and 1 from of protection from poison. That's 480 gold. 44.5 gold remaining. I will buy 1 Weaver's tools for Sombra, so that they can like customize my stuff. It's all flavor. Now it's 43.5 gold remaining, and I will buy a magical tattoo of message, which I believe a message tattoo cantrip is 40 gold. This isn't in my register, but I do have the money for it. So if that's okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So I will buy everything. All right, Ferngul, let's apply it all. Huh?
Time to prepare then.
Time to prepare.
How would you like to prepare?
Well, as I begin, I would like to first ask you a question. You heard what Blood said, right?
Sure.
What did you think of it?
What, who said?
Blood, when he apparently leapt out of his pod a bit earlier.
Well, the general has been quite instrumental in drumming up interest in my motivations, and for that I'm extremely grateful to him, and the general has my full support, I assure you. I am anticipating a victory from him, and for him to be standing in front of my armies. However, this ultimately is not my decision. I know that there are those that oppose me and the general, and in the off chance that they are victorious, well, then I will play the cards dealt to me at the time. Why do you ask?
Because it would be interesting if this was all just you asking for help to deal with some greater abyssal demon that's going to destroy our home. You could have just asked. I know that you don't like the gods, but you could have just asked.
And which deity would you think that I would be out to destroy?
That's a good question. Let's see if you'll get that help, huh?
An interesting proposal, Ludwig. Give me a persuasion check.
Sure. To help him destroy a deity? Look, hey, if Ludwig has been persuasion, okay, sure, I'll roll for it.
21. You've given me something to think about.
Good. You know, you have committed so many crimes, which is what I wanted to speak about, actually. You see, how can I put this? And Ludwig will begin to create a shadow circle. Can I start to prepare, AA?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. He'll start to draw a circle of shadow on the ground, and he will drop inside it 4 scrolls of Remove Curse, the adamantine plate armor of force resistance that Galileo had, the arrow catching shield, and one of his agates of defense. He then drops the Weaver kit inside that circle as well, and he says, "Have fun! Don't you dare make it too dramatic, okay? You know how I hate the theatrics, right?" Then Sombra, the little dragon, will jump from his shoulders into the circle, and the circle will close behind them. He will then look at Turnbull as he stretches 3 other circles on the ground. He will touch one of them as he connects the amethyst of enchantment to Sombra's longsword. Purify my hearing, Lord Kairos, so that this demon never enters my mind. And I will cast Lesser Restoration to cure my deafness.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. He will then stare Turnbull, but not at his eyes, as he touches another scroll, and as radiant light seems to be running through his veins, he will speak. As I cast protection from poison, also from a 2nd level spell scroll. You know, Turnbull, I should thank you, really. Without you, me and Sombra would be dead. You do know this, right?
You're welcome.
He will then begin to stretch the final scroll across the ground, and different sigils will appear as a larger shadowy circle will light up. It's almost as if he's casting a spell on the side of a mirror, and Sombra is casting the other one on the other side. You know, it's quite simple, really. I thought all I was a disappointment. Kairos never accepted me. My peers and parents would die in a holy war somewhere, and I would be left just like Sombra was, just a useless thing on the top of someone's fireplace. And he will stop drawing the circle for only a moment as he looks up to the eyes of fate, or should I say the eyes of truth. And 2 strands of light will light up his eyes as I will cast See Invisibility with a regular 2nd level spell slot. So I will mark that off. I have See Invisibility because of my Paladin subclass of the Watchers. That gives me access to that spell.
Okay. Is it concentration?
No, just 1 hour duration. I'm pretty sure. Yep. 1 hour duration. Since we're here, can I see anything in the ethereal plane around us? Ethereal creatures, objects, something Turnbull is hiding?
Give me a perception check.
Of course. Oh, thank you, dice. I'm too busy being dramatical, which Ludwig certainly isn't.
Tharamgul just kind of looks intently as you're doing your preparations, and you notice that this rest area within the Fate's Hand Tavern seems to solidify a little more as his eyes become very focused on you. Let's just pay attention to what we're doing here, Ludwig.
Of course. And you see, Sombra told me a similar story to mine. They were supposed to be this big paladin killing weapon. The necromancer that created them thought it wise to put a few paladin souls inside the weapon, so it was almost like we were both raised by paladin families. Sombra was useless in fighting my grandfather, so the necromancer was killed, and they cursed my family's lineage with the Shatterkai thing. My grandfather, not feather, then took Sombra as a trophy. You see, we were never scared of 1 or 2 hexblades, and he will look up from the circle to you, to your horribly bored face, and he'll smile. I'm sorry, Turnbull. Forgive me for boring you with so many details. I swear there's a point to this, okay? It's a realization I have to share with you.
No, you're not boring me at all, Ludwig.
Oh, good. I'm happy about that, actually. I'm just waiting on Sombra to finish up whatever they're making. Ludwig then finishes up the sigils he drew across the ground, and they will all glow with dark and yellow light as I cast Remove Curse 4 times. 3 on the adamantine plate armor of force resistance, which will take care of everything, and 1 on the arrow catching shield, taking away a curse, which I've sent to everyone. I can tell you if you want to. Sure. It's the arthritic curse. And it's in that moment that Ludwig will kneel down on the middle of the circle and close his eyes, as shadows begin to envelop him and slowly equip him with his new items. As I attune to the arrow catching shield, I attune to the adamantine plate of force resistance, as I attach an agate of defense to my arrow catching shield. And 3 versions of him will rise and stand up as I'm casting Mirror Image using a 3rd level Warlock spell slot, which I will mark right now. Bunch of stuff. We are level 12. Bunch of stuff.
Yep.
He then continues to speak with his eyes closed still. I was going to die that night. When I impaled myself with Sombra, I should have died. But something pulled us out. Be it you, be it your invitation that Sombra got, or I don't know, be it Dregs, whatever it was, you interfered with fate, Ferngul. And Ludwig will rise as the shadows all quickly detach from his body and a soft radiant glow envelops him. He opens his eyes and he smiles. I will use my channel divinity to use my Watcher's Will thing, which I can use it on 4 people plus myself. So that would be everyone, but as always, I will leave some people out of my blessings. All right, so I am using the Watcher's Will channel divinity, which gives advantage on all mental saving throws. So that's charisma, intelligence, and wisdom. And I'm using them on Little and Samosa and myself.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy you did. And Ludwig will begin to walk towards you. Maybe this was my fate all along. And I also don't believe fate is immutable. No. I believe that our actions, when done in full honesty to ourselves, are the most honest form of fate. But you have crossed too many lines, man. And he'll start to walk towards you, continue, as he drinks a potion of heroism. Do you know why I'm always on your 2nd episode? Always 1 step behind you? Do you know why you simply can't get rid of me, and why whenever I'm present, one of your favorites gets killed? And his eyes will flash with radiant light as I stare up at Ferngul to what could be one of my last times seeing him. And I will use Divine Sense, which is a paladin spell. It's a paladin thing. It's an ability. I have 5 of those per day. I will read out what it does so you can tell me what I see. Divine Sense. As an action, you can detect good and evil. So until the start of my next turn, I am able to see the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. I also know which type of creature that is. So is Ferngul a fiend, a celestial, or an undead?
As you call upon the power of your deity to use Divine Sense, you are almost overwhelmed with the strength of the results. As what do these senses feel like to you? Is it a smell or just a knowledge in your mind? Is it like, how does it resonate?
I feel like it would definitely be corporeal, like a smell, like a sense of aura to a person. Just my feelings, right? I would shiver to my core, I feel like.
So as looking at Thermgul, you hear a low grumbling sound. You smell a very strong smell of sulfur. You feel heat radiating off of him, and in the distance you hear the echo of countless screams of helpless souls. He's very, very much so a fiend.
Ludwig will avert his eyes for a second, kind of taking this in. This is the first time he's ever used it. He'll look back at you. You have meddled with fate, and I have become the shadow of her mistakes. I have become your very own, personal, unique fate's shadow. Do you think that's a good title? I mean, it's not as cool as Dawnblaze, well, at least for this round. I might die after all. I'm just,
I think it's quite fitting to you, Ludwig, and there's a part of me that wants to see you reach your goals. You seem very conflicted, split personality, if you will. But, of course, there's that lingering emotion within all of us. Pride, maybe hubris. I can't wait to watch you pulverized.
And I can't wait to kill as many as your favorites as I can.
Well,
who knows?
With that in mind, are you finished your preparations?
Almost, actually. I will take the two that I just put into my person, and I will cast message. And according to what Dorian told me, I can cast message as a cantrip and talk to even 4 people if I want to, because that's my proficiency bonus. Is that true?
Yep. So you can just, once everyone's back inside the game, you can just send them direct messages, whatever you want to message, and then just send the text to me later.
Perfect. I will do that. I will for sure do that.
Okay, what about the no dodge dash, minus 10% max HP and minus 2 wisdom?
I am using another agate of defense. I am using one Galeo head on him, which only gives me minus 2 wisdom. Oh,
even if it's in escrow, you still...
I still have that late consequence. Okay. I'm sorry for taking the time here. I was not sure that's how that works.
You can think about it for a minute and then just let us know. But if that's the last thing for your preparation...
Yeah, and I also have to write up the message. But yeah, I'll be messaging Sumosa and Little about the oath and about the other stuff as well.
Okay, I'll let everybody back in.
Sure. Oh boy. How are you all doing, guys?
Good.
I'm nervous.
40 minutes over.
Good.
Yep. All right. So I'm just going to take a quick break here. I'll get everything set up and then we'll get going. All right.
Dave, how long is that break intended to be? I'm just asking on behalf of my dog.
As long as you need, man. 10 minutes?
Oh.
Bio break time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, bio break.
Thank you. I need to redo some stuff here.
Thanks.
Yep.
I need to go just...
Yep.
De-stress. It hasn't even started yet.
Evacuate some raw caffeine.